Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages. Welcome, and super duper happy to have you here for the very first edition of the Maniac's weekly $60 cash scrims. And we got 3 rounds of action, mayhem, and strategy coming your way today. But first and foremost, for those of you who aren't quite acquainted as to who I am, I'm Red Eyes, your ever-lovable and adorably cuddly caster, bringing you that daily dosage of butt-kickery, tomfoolery, and all-around shenaniganism. And we got a stacked lobby today for you, boys and girls. We got Insane Maniacs, Eternal Gaming, New Genesis Maniacs, Forsaken Gaming, The Risley Grizzlies, Sup Cuties, Looney Tunes, J. Crew, Rude Dudes, Divine, Lotus Esports, Excuse, After Freedom, Execute, Exodus Esports, Control, Minafor, Nemesis Gaming, All In, Weird Genius, Victorious, and Fruit Cup OG. So I'm expecting a lot of action right off the bat. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are kicking things off with, you guessed it, a Miramar. Now, what do we need to say about Miramar? It's essentially the largest map that we have in the game, meaning that the odds of 2 teams landing next to each other is just going to be a bit slimmer. But you got to remember, it's also the most open map of the game too, so the odds of you being sniped from 300 meters away is just exponentially higher. So you need to be alert of not just your immediate, but your distant surroundings as well. So with that being said, let's have a look at this plane path here. Almost perfectly central. So if you get those of you who are just now tuning in, we are doing round 1 of 3 of the Maniac's scrims. So welcome in, happy to have you here. And the good thing for these participants is that this is, you know, being a central flight path, they're left with just nothing but options. A ton of options, ladies and gentlemen. But keep in mind, as we start things off, this is my second time ever using an emulator, so you might have to bear with me just a little bit here as I get the hang of this. But I think we've already got some early confrontations. Yep, it looks like it's going to be the likes of the Risley Grizzlies. They're going to be dropping alongside the boys in Execute. So we're going to start things off by tuning in to that. Oh my goodness. Turn off this music, please. Thank you. Okay. That was interesting. So yeah, let's, oh yeah, we also have another potential confrontation here on the board as well. It's going to be members of After Freedom, and they are going to be dropping here alongside their opponents in All In. So this is what we're going to start off by tuning into, and oh, it is a rough start for both Luffy and Starboy, as they are just immediately wrecked into by their opponents, leaving everything riding on 4 Ace and Lexus. Pardon me, that's 4, yeah. Ace and Lexus is what I'll call it here. And oh, Ace dropping down, but not quite able to finish the job with that Tommy gun, leaving Lexus as the final hope here for After Freedom. And boy, it is looking rough, but that close quarter combat annihilated the DBS, doing what it does. However, revenge is something served cold and fast here in this case, as they are taken out in retaliation by Beery. And you know what? You got to say that's a pretty fair trade there. Getting 4 takedowns and only losing 1 of your members in the process is not a very bad trade. It is very early on, but you know, I think that's, as I said, a fair trade for you and a good start to the match. We got Weird Genius also pretty darn close by their opponents in Lotus Esports, apparently. And we're going to go by tuning into Tactical here. Oh, wait, actually, it's Cutie who is right by his opponent. Just to give an idea. Oh, come on. You gonna let me do this? Sorry, guys. I do apologize for this being a little bit, as I said, being a little bit new to this. It's usually supposed to let me click on the... Okay. That is interesting to see that it's not letting me use my free explore thing. It was yesterday. All right, well, QDZ firing away with that M249. Looks like he does get a takedown on Blinky right there, and also dealing out a little bit of damage there to Melody as well. Melody does have a nice, decent position to cover, I'd say. However, one nade could pretty much ruin either of these players here. Both are in pretty reachable distance, and to say that Cutie has a general idea of Melody's location is an understatement. So the fact that he hasn't really engaged on that leaves me to... Yep, he has no nades in his inventory, and that is a good explanation. Blinky very likely to be revived at this point by Kaizen, and that's to be expected. And off in the distance, yep, Execute having at it again. So we are going to go by tune into that here. Why was it not letting me... That is very odd. It is giving me quite a hard time here. Let me just turn off one thing here, guys, in my settings. Turning off the boss key. I think that that's what's causing this. Reboot the client to make the boss key work. Oh, great. That's not what I want to hear. That is so weird. I am awfully sorry about this, guys. I'm not really sure what exactly I'm doing, but if worse comes to worse, I can always switch over to my mobile device. Aha! There we go. All I gotta do is hit this, apparently. I do apologize, guys. It's the second time using the emulator, but as we get through the hang of it. Oh, there's Juancho dealing out some monster damage with that UMP, going after another and taking almost no damage in the process. This boy is on a little bit of a warpath here for his team, and Execute could sure use it at this point because they've already been reduced down to half of their starting lineup. Look at him go, another one! He's almost single-handedly squad wiped here. Okay. Wow, this is so weird how this is quite a lot more complicated than I figured it would be. But so here we have Juancho just holding position, but all that noise and commotion has definitely brought on the attention of the likes of the Grizzlies, who are coming in. They smelled the blood in the water, and they are trying to capitalize here. Juancho putting down a little bit of preemptive smoke, trying to drench himself in what cover he can, what is afforded to him, and seeing if he can find a way to get out of this situation. But unfortunately for him, this being the most open map, that is going to be a real tough one to pull off. Let me get my tabs open here. I do apologize for that. Getting a bit of a late start into the room myself. You guys probably couldn't hear a thing I was saying there. Juancho really kind of playing the slow play here. But we are going to go not waste any time here. It looks like we got another commotion here on the board. The likes of Looney Tunes not far off from their opponents here. Let's see who that was, actually. Oh, goodness, it's going to be Fruit Cup OG that they're nearby. And it's going to be Muda, who's the closest to it. Oh, I withdraw that. Zizzy? Oh, why is it not letting me switch? I would feel ridiculous if I didn't try to at least fix this here. Bear with me for just a moment, guys. There we go. Yes, thank you. All right, now we are in business, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we have figured out the issues, and we are good to go from here on out. So Exodus now facing off against their opponents in Nemesis. This is going to be an interesting little altercation. And as you can see, both of these teams probably kind of playing this a little bit slower than I would have previously expected. But that's actually to be somewhat, you know, it's somewhat to be expected, especially on a large map like Miramar. And large maps are going to be, you know, 2 out of the 3 maps that we're going to be working with. So you can be expected to be left with a couple moments of downtime, pockets of silence, bits of in-between time. But you know what I always say, ladies and gentlemen, is that only translates to a more action-packed and climactic mid or endgame. We got WG going off in the distance. I do apologize. I don't have the tags here on my slot list. But WG having a little bit of a advantageous situation there, I should say. Juancho still keeping in the action. He is now, at this point, the final hope here for Execute and just swimming in a pool of Grizzly members, and that is not an ideal situation to be in at this stage at all. Especially considering that he was only able to secure 1 kill for the team, and he does get a knock, but boy, Rizzler just annihilating him from behind. And at that stage, he was just outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. All right. Well, I think we are going to divert our attention to another potential altercation. As I mentioned, Exodus not far off from their opponents in Nemesis. And as you can see, Medic here trying to make it rain a little bit of hellfire here on his opponent. We'll see if that can happen. And hopefully I should be able... Yes, now I can go free range. Ooh, boy, this is going to be a tough situation here for him. Well, as I say that, Ruby taking fairly minimal damage, you know, clinging to that smoke and vehicle for dear life, which just goes to exemplify the importance of utilizing what cover you can on a map as open as Miramar. You know, when compound cover can become so few and far between, that's when the geographical cover, knowing your good hills and divots, can make all the difference between life and death. And when you don't have that, that's when you really got to resort to those utilities and maybe even sacrifice your vehicle. And I still don't have my... Hey, Deluxe, welcome to the channel, but I will look into that after this. All right, well, Ruby just trying to heal up. You could almost sense that that was going to happen at any moment at that stage. Just tempting fate a little too much there. iCode here, pretty close by other remaining members of their opponents in Exodus, but with just a margin of space here, and it looks like his teammate might even be AFK, unfortunately for him. So that is going to be a tough call, but no time to waste, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to switch our attention over to the crew in Divine as they prepare to face off against their opponents in Control, and it looks like they already have a member of Control down, unfortunately for them, and that's going to bring them down to a three-piece of Leviathan, Bum, and Men. Men trying to get a revive on his fallen teammate, Brick. Leviathan trying to do a little bit of overwatch and cover fire here in this situation, and just a little bit outnumbered there and peaked a tad too much. And so that is going to put things down for Divine. They do actually have two of their members down at this point, so it's going to be on Red and Switch. And Red already trying to prioritize a revive, leaving Switch in charge of Overwatch and cover fire, but he is actually going to stick a revive as well, which could leave a very serious opportunity here for the likes of Control. Who is their final member up? Wow, I don't even know how I moved to the side right there. Oh, it's Bum. Oh boy, he is just annihilating, laying waste with that 4x M4, but oh, Revenge dished out cold and fast yet again, ladies and gentlemen. And that is that for them. Divine come out victorious with their first 5 kills of the game. I guess first 5, yeah, whatever. They got 5 kills on the board. We're going to switch our attention over at this point to the crew in New Genesis Maniacs. So they are currently dealing with the immediate threat of J-Crew. Whether or not it's going to amount to something is yet to be seen, especially considering the spread that J-Crew is utilizing here. Kind of surprising more so than anything. I mean, yes, it makes sense to have your own vehicles if you're a full 4-person team, but being as a 2-piece, it is a trade. I mean, it does make sense in certain situations, and maybe in this situation, I can actually understand why. Just not putting all your eggs into one basket, and it's a coin flip, you know. It has its advantages that you're not going to be taken out in the same spray, but the disadvantage, if you are attacked, the ability for your teammate to really be of significant assistance is going to be a lot more difficult. So it's a bit of a trade, and I think it should be very context-specific of when to really utilize. But for the time being, I'm trying to see where we should go keep our eyes on, and it looks like we're left here with a little bit of a spread, ladies and gentlemen. And as I said, that should never be more expected than on a map as large as Miramar. Now, technically, Erangel is also an 8x8, but that really includes Erangel's bodies of water, so realistically, this is our largest map. So yeah, you are going to be left with the moments of downtime here, but never more so than on a Miramar. But for the time being, I think I'm going to stay tuned in here to the boys on J-Crew, which at this point is just Nifty and Krish. They are not too far off from an opposition. Just above them, they've got members of New Genesis Maniacs, and as well as members of Eternal Gaming, and a little bit off to their northeast, the crew in All In is not far off at all there, but yet there is just some downtime. And while it might look like they have somewhat close proximity, this map is so large and we can almost forget about it. But if you zoom in, you can get a much more accurate depiction of just how far away these teams are from one another. Not too far, but definitely not as close as it may have once appeared here. And a little bit of space here is going to mean a little bit of downtime for sure. But we might get something between the likes of All In and is that Excuse? Yes, it is. So for those of you who are now just tuning in, welcome. This is the very first edition of the weekly The Maniac's $60 cash scrims. This is round 1 of 3. All right. Well, James of Excuse trying to catch eyes on his opponents in All In, but you know, I gotta say, given his spread from his teammates, it's gonna be a bit of a tough call to make, because if he does draw out that attention, it could be advantageous if they're in a somewhat of a 3-1 split situation, and they are. Ooh, this could actually be good. For James to draw on the attention of All In would give a huge opportunity for Matt and Rosh and SS to really catch their opponents off guard. We'll see how they're going to utilize it here, because it's all about getting your positioning, and it does seem like Rosh has kind of already foregone that element of surprise here as he just aggressively pushes in with that Tommy gun, laying waste to his opponent, firing away, and let's see, going in after V now, getting yet another takedown. This boy is on a warpath and taking almost no damage in the process, and as I say it, the caster's curse is all too real, ladies and gentlemen. He is taken down right there, and goodness. Well, nice effort, but all for naught in this case. Well, that's going to leave Excuse down to a 3-piece of James, SS, and Matt here. I'm going to bring my attention a little bit further down south to where Bishop was. It looks like he's going to be driving a little bit further south of Forsaken Gaming. Not really too eager for that altercation just yet. Trying to make it to the end game and at least be able to secure those placement points at the very least before, dialing things in and getting extra aggressive. But for now, maybe Fruit Cup Elite. Well, actually, I withdraw that previous statement. It does look like Looney Tunes are going to be getting an attack. Muda already being fired on in retaliation. And it's going to be more than likely potentially from the crew from Forsaken Gaming? Or no, actually, I don't believe it was. I don't think that Forsaken had that high ground. So just so I can get an idea. I could be wrong. Yeah, it must have been Forsaken Gaming in that case then. Yeah, no one was on that hilltop, so it had to have been Forsaken. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of downtime here, but something interesting to note. Oh, I'm so excited to use this. We are going to go ahead and just take a little bit of attention to here of what Excuse are doing right here. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. So, well, all the while, as I say that, we can see that Looney Tunes still not quite finished here. It does look like XZZY has been taken down, and Bishop going to be getting that revive, while Asuka and Muda provide a little bit of overwatch and cover fire. Muda with that 8x Car 9. Well, anyways, I did want to draw attention a little bit further north to what Excuse was doing. They're claiming the very edge of zone, but for good tactical reason, securing that high ground. And there's another advantage to that as well. Let me go ahead and try this again. So the other advantage for this is going to be just the mere fact that it's not really going to be a too tough of a situation, ideally for them. Hypothetically, they shouldn't have to watch their souths or their backsides, because once those people have kind of worked their way into zone, that should be pretty much accounted for. We're not really likely to see too much zone camping, at least not with the most recent update. And so that gives them just one less angle to account for, meaning that they really only have to keep a 270-degree line of sight. And so with less area to account for, it does seem to have its purpose. However, with that zone, I don't think it's likely that they're going to be able to get the next zone following. So I don't know if I would call that worth it in this particular situation. Hey, Clown. Hey, Harin. Hey, Mommy. Guys, if you haven't dropped a sub yet to my YouTube, I'm definitely trying to grow it, so please, please do. If you guys are tuning into the Twitch, be sure to come over to the YouTube if you haven't subbed yet. But, again, this is me just trying to get the hang of this emulator. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but we're getting there. Ooh, another thing to take notice of, ladies and gentlemen, we got the insane Maniacs pulling up to the party. Well, maybe not even to the party after all. They're a little bit spread out from their opponents in Victorious to their north, and even further north, Divine. So maybe we'll just go to Victorious and see their little peanut butter and Scrooge sandwich, how it's going to play out. Especially considering the fact that they are down to their final member. Nice try. 7 was knocked and quickly eliminated a little earlier on. I believe we saw that. And so, yeah, nice try being the only hope of a team that started off as a 3-piece, coming in at an immediate disadvantage. They got 1 kill on the board, but realistically, his main bet should be, I guess, placement at this stage, because there's still 45 people up. I mean, this is a very sweaty match, to say the least, considering that we are already approaching stage 4. But let's get a closer bird's eye view of what we should just be tuning into. Perhaps we should go further up north to where members of Sup Cuties are trying to pull somewhat of a gatekeep on the Grizzlies, even though they don't really hold the gate themselves. This is going to be a bit of a tough one here. Oh, Eternal having at it as well, being taken down in the distance. Let's have a look-see of it. Leaving it down to Astro, Clout, and Phoenix. And it looks like they're pretty spread out. Exodus going off in the distance as well. Let's go tune in for just a brief moment to Exodus. Yep, it's all down to Scarface and Scarface alone at this point, who's just desperately trying to get meted up, down to only 1 bandage and 1 boost left. It is looking like a tough situation here for him, to say the very least, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not he'll be able to work his way in is yet to be seen, but it could happen, actually. But no time to waste here. We're going to switch our attention back to the boys in Insane Maniacs. They're having a bit of a conundrum as Clown and Thirst are both knocked, leaving things riding on what's-his-name and Harin. Harin, I believe, had a tab open for the channel here. Oh, taken out right then and there by Bishop. It is a tough pill to swallow, but yeah, just like that, the team went from a hope to nothing left. And that is the nature of a Miramar match in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. No time to waste, though. We've got action pretty much on the plate from here on out for the remainder of the match. Excuse trying to work their way in, facing a potential gatekeep from the likes of Men of 4. Actually, I'm going to give Men of 4 a little bit of screen time. They haven't had any yet. It's Slimmy, Wagoon, Love, and Z. And here we see Slimmy firing away M4 3X combo. It's a little bit different than the Men of 4 that I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing him on the all-out aggressive, so this is kind of nice to see him dialing things back and playing things in the long-haul game. But a little bit of utilities being thrown outwards towards Excuse, trying to make it rain hellfire, but not quite hitting the mark. Z right up next to the mix here. Potentially could catch him in a very nice little off-guard situation. Just to give you an idea of just how close he is and just how much self-control he's exerting. I'm sorry, I don't know how to zoom out from that angle here. So we're just going to go on back. Oh, here we go. James from Excuse being fired on. Oh, goodness, he could not pick a target and stick with it. And it seems like that might have just been his undoing right then and there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves it down to Men of 2. Love and Slimmy. It's Love and Slimmy, pardon me. And it's Love here responsible for both of the team's kills. Can he get this utility at this crucial moment? Oh, James is still down, but it does not look like the nade hit. Could I be wrong about that? Perhaps the nade is what hit James, but I don't believe so. Well, ladies and gentlemen, all the while, we've got members of J-Crew facing off in a little bit of a distance battle against Lotus and Krish, or Break Rish, right here, on a break, is his name, pardon me. On a break, taking a little bit more damage than he's able to dish out right there. And, oh my goodness, just to give you an idea, we got this guy here holding the shack in a little bit of a false sense of protection. And the reason I say that is because one nade could separate you from life and death. And that's just the facts of it. But Men of 4 at this point, Z is knocked, which is going to leave it riding on It's Love and Slimmy, and It's Love is down for the count potentially. Oh my gosh, hanging on to life by the hair on his chin, just a slight sliver of health, but he is still up and about. Slimmy keeping the pressure on his opponents downhill on Forsaken Gaming. Forsaken Gaming, 2 kills to their name, but still a full 4-person squad. You cannot put quite enough emphasis on being a full 4-person come-in game. Oh, thank you, Kiltris. I appreciate you very much. All right, we're hearing those shots off in the distance. Okay. Well, Payne firing away. 3x M4 at the ready. Trying to get some damage in there on Looney Tunes, but not getting a successful bullet at all. And as I say that, he wrecks into Bishop and takes him down to about 33% of his overall health, 1/3. But that is not going to be enough to finish the job. And as they say in the Bible of Vin Diesel, it doesn't matter whether you win by an inch or a mile, winning's winning. So if you don't get the knock, it is not even close after the end. Well, Payne still trying to apply this pressure, and, you know, you got to give him credit, really kind of giving his teammates an opportunity to find some sort of, maybe a way to weasel out of there. All the while, Eternal just asking for it here. Well, as I say it, Astro comes and clutches for his teammate here. Phoenix taken down, but was a bit of a meat shield there for his teammate. And it's going to be Eternal coming out of that one victorious with 2 kills to their name. But as I said, I consider these shacks to be a false sense of security. So one nade could separate him from life and death. Let's give a little bit of attention to Divine. Still a full 4-piece with a full 9 kills on the board. Goodness gracious. And oh my goodness, Forsaken doing work on Looney Tunes, and Divine trying to come in third party, maybe even get a kill steal out of it. All right, well, it's going to be riding on Switch and Limbs at this point, as Red is down and Rico is out of the equation. Limbs maybe going to try to get a... Nope, not going to be able to get that revive just yet, but he does take out the opposition. Now, here comes a little problem in the shape of a Looney Tunes boy, and boy, he wrecked house into him, barely surviving it with enough health on his own, but still up and about. And Looney Tunes are still taken out by Switch. Wow! That was impressive. I have got to give credit where credit is due. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 people spread across 5 teams. We got a 3v2v2v2v1 here. We got Forsaken Gaming, Divine, Men of 4, Fruit Cup Elite, and New Genesis Maniacs here to face off. One could say that, you know, the favor is in for Forsaken Gaming, just as they have the numbers. But if you want to get real technical, we could look at the performance of the participants here so far. And Divine Switch with 7 of the team's 7 of the team's 12 kills to his name, just really dominating the match here. So I don't want to, you know, rule anyone out, even if they don't have the number advantage. They definitely have 8 kills between these two players. All right, well, we're going to go check in on Forsaken Gaming here. We saw Switch trying to do a little bit of a peek here, but not really getting the line of sight he was hoping for. So just so I can get a brief idea, yeah, Forsaken being pushed on as we speak by the likes of Divine, and this is going to be Limbs using what cover he can here. This dead truck. And nades have been thrown. A little bit of utility smoke cover trying to block their way from Forsaken, but it actually might be disadvantageous for him as it gives Forsaken an opportunity to move up as well. And they're just going to add smoke onto it. Yeah, with a knock on Limbs, that's going to leave it all riding on Switch and Switch alone. And boy, his moments are very likely numbered. Limbs goes down, actually. And Switch heals up. Oh my gosh. That's a tough pill to swallow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 3 teams remaining here. Forsaken Gaming, Men of 4, and Divine. It's a 3v1v1 to end round 1. All right, we got some utilities being thrown, attempted by It's Love, but those mollies did not quite connect. He tries to make it rain a little bit of hellfire. But, you know, give him credit because these two solos have got Forsaken Gaming in a bit of a sandwich situation. So it might work out in their favor. It would be a tough one to pull off. But, you know, if there was ever a positioning to get the only team with multiple members into, you'd want to sandwich them. So maybe Divine and Minifor can work together here just to keep the pressure on. Well, Minifor had another plan in mind, and that's to play the placement game. Let him get taken out and secure your second place before going out. And It's Love put up a great effort with that DBS, but ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, that is game over. And we've just got to give it up. Forsaken Gaming playing that long haul perfectly, securing first place with 7 kills between JP47 and Mortal. Very nicely done. Minifor in second place with 9 kills between It's Love and Slimmy. Great work between them as well. Divine grabbing third place, but a bronze with 13 kills on the board is no small potatoes. That's probably... you know what? That's still probably not going to equate the second or first place points, but it's so... Actually, doing math. Hold on, doing math. So 10 points plus 12, 13. So that's 23 points versus 12 plus 9. Yeah. So I think that should put Divine above Minifor, at least for overall standings. Fruit Cup Elite in fourth place, but with 0 kills to speak of. We've got IXM here, and this is going to be... Oh, pardon me. This is NG, New Genesis Maniacs, in 5th place with 5 kills between Noof and Dark. We got Looney Tunes securing 6th place with 4 kills, 3 of which came from Bishop. Eternal in 7th with 2 kills to speak of. Coming in 8th, pardon me. Coming in 8th, we got the boys in SEN. SEN. Pardon me, I'm not really sure who... that is, but SEN is going to be taking 8th place with 6 kills between Rizatron and Rizzler. Keep in mind, guys, I don't have their tags on the slot list. So that's my apologies there. We got the boys in JC, that's J Crew in 9th place, 2 kills between Breakish and Nifty. Lotus Esports in 10th place with 5 kills between Melody and Blinky. We're seeing a lot of two-person groups putting up the kill points here. We got Excuse in 11th with 5 total. Exodus securing 12th with 3. Coming in 13th, it's going to be IXM, and that's going to be with 0 kills to speak of. Speaking of 0 kills, we've got SC here. This is going to be Sup Cuties in 14th place with a big fat onion for kills. Victorious in 15th with only 1 kill, and that's from Aqua. All in 16th with 5. And coming in 17th, it's C. Control. With 1 kill from Leviathan. 18th is going to go to, goodness gracious, this would really, a tag list in the slot list would be super helpful. I'm going to say it's Nemesis. Going out on a limb, I'm going to say it's Nemesis with 2 kills from One Eye Code. We got WG grabbing 19th place, pardon me, that's Weird Genius. 19th place with 1 kill from Tactical. Execute in 20th with 2 kills, both of which are from Juancho, pardon me. And lastly, we've got After Freedom, and they're going to be taking last place, 21st, with 1 kill from Lexus. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I do again apologize about that little bit of the technical issues trying to work my way around the emulator. Again, this is my second time ever using it. So, gotta get used to it at some point, so may as well do it now. And we'll be back in just a few short minutes with round 2 of 3 of the Maniac's weekly $60 cash scrims. Stick around, guys. We'll be back soon. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round 2 of 3 of the Maniac's weekly $60 cash scrims. We're going to be kicking off round 2, as you guessed it, a Sandhawk. Now, what do we need to say about Sandhawk? Essentially the exact opposite of our last map, which was Miramar. This is our smallest map, whereas Miramar was our largest. Now, technically, Livik, Karakin, and the new map Noosa are all tinier than Sandhawk, but we don't mess with those in scrims yet. So this is the smallest that we got, meaning that the odds of two teams landing next to each other is just automatically going to be higher. But it's also the most condensed map that we have in the game. Now, what do I mean when I say condensed? I mean most lush in vegetation. There's more natural cover to take. There's more grass to hide inside and trees and boulders to hide behind. So you need to be alert for a higher than average number of snakes than usual. And the third and final thing I want to say is that this map is so small that it finds itself pretty independent of the flight path, meaning that you can get pretty much anywhere you want just by deploying your chute early enough. So with that being said, let's see what sort of flight path we're working with. It's essentially, the takeaway would be that the fact that this is not a perfectly central flight path, it's not going to be all that consequential for the participants. We got some early jumpers, though. Looks like Mena4 and Nemesis going to be jumping alongside each other. Mena4 potentially going to be going towards the cow area, it looks like. Let me just go, let's see here. Pen versus, highlighter. That looks a little closer to the mark. Yep. That is a little bit too large still. One moment. I do want to make that, draw attention to. We got another potential altercation here at Hot 10. It's going to be between the likes of Weird Genius and I guess that's going to be, SEN, which is the Risley Grizzlies. Yeah, here we go. Rizzler already equipped with the M249, that LMG. That 150 round clip can absolutely be an imperative difference maker here, coming into a situation where it's this early in game, and their opposition in Weird Genius may not be all that looted. So Rizzler is, he's got armor and everything. I'm guessing that maybe his teammates do not have very good loot in this situation, just given the circumstances. Execute having a bit of a rough go of it in the distance, so I'm going to go tune into that just briefly here. Oh, it's Fate being taken down right before our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That is a rough one, leaving it all riding on Jason and Casper, who do finish the job and do the dirty deed. And looks like they're going to be able to come back to a full 4-person team and Execute have 3 kills on the board already. All right, we're going to go to Eternal, actually just one member of Eternal. Who is it? It's going to be Phoenix, as he just faces off with that AK-47, annihilating his opponent in J-Crew, and then there's the Dukes to finish the job. And my apologies for not putting up the highlights there on that last intermission. Just trying to make sure I got everything taken care of emulator-wise first. But we are capturing those clips, so do not worry. All right, another potential altercation here at Painan. Yes, of course, Painan, however you want to call it. This is a particularly interesting standoff here, just for the sake of, pardon me. It's going to be one of those situations where, goodness gracious, come on, dude. Really? Okay, it's going to be one of those situations where it could amount to a bit of a standoff here for us. But you know where we're not getting a standoff is further down south. J-Crew currently sandwiched in between Eternal members. And this is really an interesting situation because J-Crew had the number advantage. They definitely were allowing Eternal to kind of encapsulate them, but the number advantage was in their favor. But given that they are allowing multiple angles on them, it just sort of allowed for On a Break to be picked off as he was a little bit further out from the group. Well, and add on to that, Clout dishing out a little bit of damage right there, getting a takedown on Nifty. Sky trying to retaliate with that M4, but the height advantage definitely is going to go to Clout. Not to mention the geographical advantage, having that little bit of boulder cover could make all the difference as well. Oh boy. This is not a good situation here for J-Crew. Now it's all riding on Sky, who's just going to try to desperately see if he can get a revive. But no, you can hear the already preemptive push from Eternal's Phoenix. And I bet he's cooking up a utility here. Well, Sky going to go for it either way. Going to try to stick a revive right here and now. It's a risky one, to say the least. And yeah, the nades rain down, and boom goes the dynamite, all too literally. Okay, so I think we're going to tune further down south to where Fruit Cup Elite is. And at this point, Fruit Cup has been reduced down to Julie and Quick Nick. And they're facing off against the likes of Sup Cuties here. Sup Cuties a little bit more spread out. But as you can see, nades are being cooked here. Oh, not quite. It was a little bit overcooked and exploded just above Quick Nick. And the shameful part about it is that it looked like it was going to hit. But no worries. A little bit of time to correct the first one. And his second one hits beautifully. All right. Well, Sup Cuties, the rest of them coming up to join the party. And that's going to leave Julie in a bit of a conundrum here, to say the least. A tough position to be in. Outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned in this situation, and gonna have to find a way to weigh her options, and I think she has, and has decided to bow out, and that's probably the right call here. Well, Weird Genius having a go of it as well, and losing some members in the process as they face off against their opposition in Risley Grizzly. Oh, yeah, Risley Grizzly. However, they're running pretty close as well. In the direction of Rude Dudes. But it is the Risley Grizzlies who are right here on them. What does this tab button do? Let me see. Oh boy, Cutie is wrecked apart there. Just dished out by the Risley Grizzlies as they picked them apart. And this is going to be an interesting thing to note here. As we scroll up, we can see just outside of the Camp Alpha area, we got a member of the Rude Dudes who strayed from the path. That's Gambler, and he is suffering the consequences immediately at the hands of Exodus Esports. And that is going to be an easy clap for Exodus, who is still a full 4-person team. That's going to be their first kill on the board. Now, keep in mind, they are awfully close to the likes of Execute, especially Jason on top of one of the members of, or just, I guess, under one of the members of Exodus. Let's just get a little bit of a brief God's eye view here. And I do apologize. This is a bit of a tough situation here, in that I cannot seem to zoom out yet. I wonder. Nope, that's not working either. Well, all in. Boy, they're facing a bit of a tough go of it as Cyrus is knocked and looks to be almost thirsted. However, Chu able to put out some distance retaliatory fire there onto their opposition in Excuse, dealing out some good damage to Rosh, but not quite enough, and Rosh is going to be able to heal. Cyrus trying his best to get, I guess, pardon me, that's a bit of a glitch. Beery trying to get healed up, but naded out in the process, leaving everything riding on Chu, and Chu alone, firing away with that M4 in hand. Is it going to be enough? It does not look to be the case. Boy. I just got his name also. Excuse does come out victorious in this altercation, but if in case you guys weren't aware, Chu, with the clan tag AI, his name, I think, you know, at least his point for it was Ichu. You know, and if you haven't seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, then you are not picking up on the Dave Chappelle joke, but that's okay. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be interesting. Okay, I don't want this type. I want this pencil tool. Ah, there's what I was trying to do. Okay, so we're going to take notice of what Execute's doing right here. It's going to be Juancho and one of his teammates. And, let's see here. Oh boy, Casper taking quite a hit there. Brought down to extremely low health. And, oh, picked off there by Unruly just above. That is a tough pill to swallow. Leaving things riding. Oh, now Juancho goes down too. It leaves it riding on Jason and Fate. And if memory serves correct, they are a ways out from their teammates. And that just goes to exemplify the downside, the disadvantage of being that spread out. We're going to give a little bit of screen time here to Nemesis. Why? Because Leo has members of Men of 4 approaching from his south, and they know about his location, already making it rain some hellfire on him, taking him down to just around 75% of his overall health. But here comes trouble. Oh, come on. Ruby firing away. 3x M4 taking out Masood. Beautiful takedown there. And not wasting time dishing out more damage. However, a little bit of retaliatory fire coming his or her way. He is taken down to just about 2/3 of his overall health. Now down to below half. Things are starting to look a little bit more grim here. Wagoon potentially going to be able to throw a nade. But look here, his teammate Z almost finished right here and now. Wagoon and Love are the final hopes here for Men of 4. Once again, reduced down to Men of 2. But one nade could change everything for them. Will it connect? Not quite. But it doesn't seem to have affected Wagoon's tactic here. He was just using that nade to hold him off at bay as he tries to fall back to his teammate. So now it really should be on It's Love to provide that overwatch and cover fire and really sort of keep that pressure on him. Hey, what's up, Multiverse? Yo, Multiverse, thanks so much. Huge shout out to Multi, who came in and with just a ton of donations the other day, just gifting out sub after sub after sub and helping keep be my dream of making, you know, a content creator profession a reality, keeping that dream alive. As most of you know, I'm really trying to excel at, you know, becoming a professional caster commentator for the esports scene. But I also, on top of that, keep the grind going when I can't get casting gigs. When they come few and far between, I still stream every single night personal gameplay to keep the content coming out here. Divine, at this point, down to Switch alone here, and they are just swimming in a pool of Excuse members. Actually, it might only be 2 members. Yep, James driving by, and Switch kind of took the bait there and fell for the trap, and now is just being picked apart in a third party from New Genesis Maniacs off in the distance, and he goes trying to be a sneaky little water snake, but a little too late, I would say, and he is just picked out like a fish in a barrel, all too literally there. Well, at this point, Excuse is down to a 3-person team of Rosh, Matt, and James, but look at this. A lot of kills on the board. 9 total, and 7 of those 9 are between the 3 who are still up. Now, Matt trying to hold position here. Preemptively expecting a push from Exodus, it seems, but it doesn't look to be the case of what's going to happen. What the? Oh, that's cool. So I wonder, rather than doing that, what if I know it's going to be a whole nother macro, but I just did something to zoom out. I wish I knew what I did. All right, well, look see way up north, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the crew in this is Insane Maniacs being a little bit of a sneaky Michael Phelps here and trying to work a northbound water rotation. And as you can see, it is not playing off in their favor. Luckily for them, that update from a couple months ago allows for you to be revived in the water. Clown a bit off from his teammates here, holding position behind the crate for cover, while Hirin tries to stick the revives. He does get a revive on what's his name. Now, can he get to his other fallen teammate Thirst is yet to be seen. By the way, guys, if you aren't already following, this event is primarily being casted on YouTube. So if you are watching on the Twitch, please do come over to the YouTube and drop a sub. I'm desperately trying to reach 1,000 followers by April or May so I can start monetizing on there as well. Yeah, I'm going to go switch on down to, I guess it's going to be One Eye Code here, who's just got all the opportunities in the world to just pick apart members of Insane Maniacs. And it's going to be a nade here. This could be it for Harin. And I honestly, yeah, money. Absolute money. It kind of reminds me of, when you see those fishing videos where like an old fisherman guy just pulls out a grenade and throws it in the water and all the dead fish come up. Well, he doesn't even need to focus here on Harin much longer. It does mean that Insane Maniacs still have one hope left in this particular case. They still have Clown up and about. But for him to go try to secure a revive on his teammate would be almost instant suicide. How did I switch between Clown and Harin there? I don't even... Well, Harin is out of the equation just like that, ladies and gentlemen. So, Clown is going to be holding down the fort for now in the water, trying to basically let these numbers dwindle down and not try to bring attention onto himself to try to secure some placement. We got someone, LC Nav. This is of the Rude Dudes getting a takedown. And keep in mind, this is pretty imperative here. He's the final hope for his team. So for him to be engaging with opposition it's a risky move, but he was able to secure a knock. Whether or not that will amount to a thirst, probably not, because it would require him going out into the line of sight of Grizzlies. And even these peaks are proving against his favor here. Oh! Goodness gracious! The Grizzlies are not playing games right now. That was a nice little distance takedown across the waterway. All right, well, excuse picking apart members of Exodus here. As you can see, excuse now with 10 kills between the team, and 8 of those kills are from the players still alive. So you know what? Just for the sake... Oh, what a monster nade there by Unruly. It almost did the job, but not quite enough. And this is going to be a tough situation because Rosh is able to heal up from that. That would... I'm sure if Unruly knew, then... Or pardon me, Execute is well pretty close by and behind him too. But I'm sure Rosh... if he knew how much he injured Rosh, it would have probably been a takedown. I figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. I figured out how to zoom out. Well, yes. Okay, this is going to be interesting here. Because look, Jason has a great opportunity to just completely catch Unruly off guard. Rizatron going off in the distance. It's One Eye Code. And yep, Jason just picks Unruly apart right then and there. And now, whether or not he's aware of the member of Sup Cuties, I don't think he is. And Gentle just wrecks into him. Wow, Patience really executed well there. And biding his time, just waiting for the opportunity to present itself to him rather than himself as an opportunity to the opponent. All right, we're going to go over to James of Excuse, because he is just swimming closer and closer to the looming threat of Looney Tunes. And smack that like, but thank you, Grim. You're the best, brother. All right, Nemesis and Looney Tunes facing off. Oh, this is terrible news for Looney Tunes as James comes in with a third party, putting Looney Tunes in a sandwich situation, and they are just being picked apart by multiple teams now. This is nothing but opportunity here for Excuse and for Nemesis. Want to see if we can get eyes on Bishop? Yes. All right. Bishop utilizing what little cover he can, but holding position here in the vehicle. Oh, nades being thrown out. Excuse's direction. Not quite getting any knocks there. Rosh taken down a little bit in health, but able to heal up. Asuka and Bishop holding the forefront of this and just trying to shroud themselves in a cloud of smoke. But Matt nades Asuka, meaning Bishop is going to have to figure out, does he go for the revive or try to fall back a little bit? And he's going to try to... Oh, boy. I think he just mollied his teammate. Oh, Bishop is also down at the hands of Excuse right there and then. Quick work for him. We're not going to waste too much time here. We're going to go check in on the crew in Lotus Esports, which at this point is Blinky, Kaizen, and Melody entering as a three-piece. And they're firing at numerous teams, focusing in on Victorious as well as members of New Genesis, but all the while Eternal looms right behind them. And so this could be an interesting gatekeep opportunity if they do come to be aware of that. Oh boy. Now, normally I would say, you know, early rotation into zone, in-game zone could be absolutely, you know, imperative here. But, you know, if we take notice, there is, you know, a decent amount of compound cover on one side. So yeah, that makes sense to try to claim early. But for the most part, everything else is just open territory, meaning that you could just be picked apart from the people who rotate in behind you. So it's primarily more so on Miramar where I would say this is the case, but it does happen to be the case for this particular zone where a late rotation might be more advantageous to the participants, and Clout knows it too. That's why he's holding back here, and you know, you don't often, hopefully we're not going to see the heal strat too much more after this new update. Clout, was that him? I don't think it was. Alright, well, Insane Maniacs, still 3 people up with 5 kills on the board. Oh boy. But if we notice off in the distance, ladies and gentlemen, we've got members of Nemesis having a rough go of it. It's all riding on Leo, and boy, he's taking a huge load of damage from the low ground. That's either from Grizzlies or Forsaken Gaming, but this is a situation that they really shouldn't have let be the ending of their team, because all they had to do was crawl back maybe 4 or 5 feet, as you can see Leo has done, or Ruby has done, giving Leo the opportunity to get this revive without being in the line of sight of his opponents. That's the whole point of having this high ground position here. So, what is he doing? Leo just let his teammate... Wow. Wow. I'm betting that there's something else to that story. Maybe that person was AFK or said, hey, take my resources, I can't stick around. Something. But Hydra from Insane Maniacs just wrecked into, and their little distance altercation, leaving it riding on Dark and Zeus. This is an altercation here with Grizzlies, and as we've noted, Grizzlies are just shining right now with 11 kills. They have 10 of those 11 kills between the 2 remaining players, Rizatron and Rizzler. Okay, Rizzler. Oh, that's it for Clout. Taken out by Lotus Blinky off in the distance. Let's see here. All right. Well, guys, we are down to just 4 teams remaining here. It's going to be the Grizzlies, Forsaken Gaming, New Genesis Maniacs, and Lotus Esports. 4 teams remain, spread across 8 people. Sorry about that. Oh, nice takedown by Melody. 3x M4 at the ready, getting a quick takedown on Dark. This is going to be a tough situation. Now getting Hydra! Boy, that is a quick change of pace for the likes of New Genesis Maniac. And now Zeus picked apart by the Grizzlies. Oh, talk about too much at once. Outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. It really shouldn't have been an outnumbered situation, but multiple teams ganging up on them. That's a rough one. But now it's down to 2 teams, guys. We got ourselves a 1v1. Grizzlies versus Forsaken Gaming. Rizzler versus JP47 to take the dub. Who's going to have it? Oh, man. Boy, this is quite a standoff here. Rizzler holding position with that CQC, close quarter combat annihilator. 4 kills to his name. The team has 13. Wow. Both of these guys did great here, but ultimately it's going to be the Grizzlies who seal the deal there. And ladies and gentlemen, any way you look at it, that is game over. The Grizzlies, a phenomenal performance between Rizzler and Rizzatron, putting up 13 of the team's 14 kills. And if it gives you an idea, I mean, there's really only like 80 people in the event. So to take out that many is a huge chunk of the playing board. Forsaken Gaming, give it up to JP47. He was able to secure that placement for his team. No, it wasn't all on him, but it is pretty significant when as a solo you make it all the way to second. And he did even put up a kill as well on the board there. However, in pertinence to Lotus Esports, who got third place with 10 kills between their 3 players, 9 between Melody and Blinky, that's actually definitely going to be significantly more points from this match than Forsaken Gaming. Even though Forsaken Gaming has the higher placement, that 12 points is only a 2-point difference between getting second place and third place placement points. So realistically, that means that's 13 points for Forsaken Gaming this match, and for Lotus, it's going to be 20 points. Pretty significant. 7-point gain on that slack. We've got the Insane Maniacs grabbing 4th place with 6 kills. 5 are between Dark and Oof. Nemesis grabbing 5th with 5. We got Eternal coming in 6th place with 4 kills, 3 of which are from Phoenix. Coming in 7th, it's going to be the Crew and Victorious, entering as a 3-piece and finishing the match with 0 kills to their name. Coming in 8th, it's going to be SC Sup Cuties. That's going to be with 4 kills, 3 of which are from Gentle. Gosh, give credit to Excuse. Even though they didn't get great placement, boy, they put up 14 kills. That's quick work to be able to get. If you're only getting 9th place in placement, that means that you got all 14 of those kills pretty quickly. I'd say maybe just a little bit past halfway through the match, or maybe approaching the 65% to 70% of progression of the match. But to get that many kills on the board that early and that quickly, that's impressive. Looney Tunes securing 10th with 1 kill from Muda. Coming in 11th, it's going to be... Oh, I guess this is the Insane Maniacs. All right, there's no way for me to know. Maniacs, I know this is your event, but if you're going to enter as 2 teams, Insane Maniacs and New Genesis Maniacs, you can't do 2 tags each. So I know this is the first event, but there's no way for me to know which team is which. Anyways, moving on. We have got, Excuse Looney Tunes. This would be, I guess... Oops. I'm not sure. Maybe this is Insane Maniacs. But whatever. 11th place with 0 kills to their name. Coming in 12th, it's going to be the boys in Execute, and that's with 4 kills between Jason and Casper. Exodus in 13th with 5. We got Fruit Cup Elites in 14th with 0. 15th is going to go to the Rude Dudes with 2. Metaphor in 16th with 2, both of which are from It's Love. Divine in 17th with 3. All in 18th with 1 kill from Aichu. We got the Weird Guys in 19th with 0. AX4 After Freedom is going to be taking 20th place with 0. 21st going to J Crew with 1. And last place going to Control, 22nd place with 1 kill from Brick. Alrighty, guys, you know the drill. Stick around, and we're going to be back in just a few short moments with our 3rd and final round of the the Maniacs $60 weekly cash scrim event. Stick around. We'll be back soon. Tunes boy, he wrecked house into him, barely surviving it with enough health on his own, but still up and about. And Looney Tunes are still taken out by Switch. Wow! That was a numbered situation, but multiple teams ganging up on him. That's a rough one. But now it's down to 2 teams, guys. We got ourselves a 1v1 Grizzly Grizzlies versus Forsaken Gaming. Rizzler versus JP47. Late rotation might be more advantageous to the participants, and Clout knows it too. That's why he's holding back here. And you know, you don't often, hopefully we're not going to see the heal strat too much more after this new update. Clout, was that him? I don't think, as they picked him apart. And this is going to be an interesting thing to note here as we scroll up. We can see just outside of the Camp Alpha area, we got a member of the Rude Dudes who strayed from the path. It's Gambler, and he is suffering the consequences immediately. I'm guessing that maybe his teammates do not have very good loot in this situation, just given the circumstances. Execute having a bit of a rough go of it in the distance, so I'm going to go tune into that just briefly here. Oh, it's Fate being taken down right before our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That is a Grizzly members, and that is not an ideal situation to be in at this stage at all. Especially considering that he was only able to secure 1 kill for the team. He does get a knock, but boy, Rizzler just annihilating him from behind. And at that stage, he was just outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. This is what I'll call it here. And oh, Ace dropping down, but not quite able to finish the job with that Tommy gun, leaving Lexus as the final hope here for After Freedom. And boy, it is looking rough, but that close quarter combat annihilated the DBS, doing what it does. However, revenge is something served cold and fast, well, which could leave a very serious opportunity here for the likes of Control. Who is their final member up? Wow, I don't even know how I moved to the side right there. Oh, it's Bum. Oh boy, he is just annihilating, laying waste with that 4x M4, but oh, revenge dished out. To figure out, does he go for the revive or try to fall back a little bit? And he's going to try to do, oh boy, I think he just mollied his teammate. Oh, Bishop is also down at the hands of Excuse right there and then. Firing away with that M4 in hand. Is it going to be enough? It does not look to be the case. Boy. I just got his name also. Excuse teammates. Let's see here. Oh boy, Casper taking quite a hit there. Brought down to extremely low health, and oh, picked off there by Unruly. You'd want to sandwich them. So maybe Divine and Metaphor can work together here just to keep the pressure on. Well, Metaphor had another plan in mind, and that's to play the placement game. Let him get taken out and secure. Give you an idea of just how close he is and just how much self-control he's exerting. I'm sorry, I don't know how to zoom out from that angle here. So we're just going to go on back. Oh, here we go. James from Excuse being fired on. Oh, goodness, he could not pick a target. And 75% of his overall health. But here that comes trouble. Oh, come on. Ruby firing away. 3x M4 taking out Masood. Beautiful. Truly off guard. Rizatron going off in the distance. It's one eye code. And yet Jason just picks Unruly apart right then and there. And now, whether or not he's aware of the member of Sup Duties, I don't think he is. And Gentle just wrecks into it. It does seem like Rosh has kind of already foregone that element of surprise here. As he just aggressively pushes in with that Tommy gun, laying waste to his opponent, firing away. And let's see, going in after V now. Getting yet another takedown. This boy is on a... What does this tab button do? Let me see. Oh boy, Cutie is wrecked apart there. You're the best, brother. All right, Nemesis and Looney Tunes facing off. Oh, this is terrible news for Looney Tunes as James comes in with a third party, putting Looney Tunes in a sandwich situation. So yeah, let's, oh yeah, we also have another potential confrontation here on the board as well. It's going to be members of After Freedom, and they are going to be dropping here alongside their opponents in All In. So this is what we're going to start off by tuning into, and oh, it is a rough start for both. Ah, there we go. All I got to do is hit this, apparently. I do apologize, guys. It's the second time using the emulator, but as we get through the hang of it. Oh, there's Juancho dealing out some monster damage with that UMP, going after another and taking almost no... And SS to really catch their opponents off guard. We'll see how they're going to utilize it here, because it's all about getting your positioning, and it does seem like Rosh has kind of already foregone that element of surprise here. He just aggressively pushes in with that Tommy gun. So you see if he can get a revive, but no, you can hear the already preemptive push from Eternal's Phoenix, and I bet he's cooking up a utility here. Well, Sky gonna go for it either way. Gonna try to stick a revive right here and now. It's a risky one, to say the least. And yeah, the nades rain down, and boom goes the dynamite, all taking an opportunity to move up as well. And they're just gonna add smoke onto it. Yeah, with a knock on Limbs, that's going to leave it all riding on Switch and Switch alone. And boy, his moments are very likely numbered. Limbs goes down, actually. And Switch heals up, likes of Sup Cuties here. Sup Cuties a little bit more spread out, but as you can see, nades are being cooked here. Oh, not quite. It was a little bit overcooked and exploded just above Quick Nick. And the shameful part about it is that it looked like it was going to hit. Foregone that element of surprise here. He just aggressively pushes in with that Tommy gun, laying waste to his opponent, firing away. And let's see, going in after V now, getting yet another takedown. This boy is on a warpath and taking almost no damage in the process. And as I say it, the caster's curse. And I still don't have my... Hey Deluxe, welcome to the channel, but I will look into that after this. All right, well, Ruby just trying to heal up. You could almost sense that that was gonna... Wow. I'm betting that there's something else to that story. Maybe that person was AFK or said, hey, take my resources, I can't stick around. Something. But Hydra from Insane Maniacs just wrecked into... Well, yes. Okay, this is going to be interesting here. Because look, Jason has a great opportunity to just completely catch Unruly off guard. Rizatron going off in the distance. It's one eye code. And yet Jason just picks Unruly apart. Got all the opportunities in the world to just pick apart members of Insane Maniacs. And it's going to be a nade here. This could be it for Harin. And I honestly... Oop, yeah, money. Absolute money. Cover he can, but holding position here in the vehicle. Oh, nades being thrown out. Excuse his direction. Not quite getting any knocks there. Rosh taken down a little bit in health, but able to heal up. Asuka and Bishop holding the forefront of this and just trying to shroud themselves in a cloud of smoke. But Matt nades into by their opponents, leaving everything riding on 4 Ace and Lexus. Pardon me, that's 4. Yeah. Ace and Lexus is what I'll call it here. And oh, Ace dropping down, but not. Oh, goodness gracious. The Grizzlies are not playing games right now. That was distance retaliatory fire there onto their opposition in Excuse. Dealing out some good damage to Rosh, but not quite enough. And Rosh is going to be able to heal. Cyrus trying his best to get, I guess, pardon me, that's a bit of a glitch. Beery trying to get healed up, but naded out in the process, leaving everything. We're going to go to Eternal, actually just one member of Eternal. Who is it? It's going to be Phoenix, as he just faces off with that AK-47, annihilating his opponent in J-Crew. And then there's the Dukes to finish the job. Divine and Metaphor can work together here just to keep the pressure on. Well, Metaphor had another plan in mind, and that's to play the placement game. Let him get taken out, and secure your second place before going out. And It's Love put up a great effort with that DB to find some sort of maybe a way to weasel out of there. All the while, Eternal just asking for it here. Well, as I say it, Astro comes and clutches for his teammate here. Phoenix taken down, but was a bit of a meat shield there for his teammate. And spread across 8 people. Sorry about that. Oh, nice takedown by Melody. 3x M4 at the ready, getting a quick takedown on Dark. This is going to be a tough situation. Now getting Hydra! Boy, this is quite a standoff here. Rizzler holding position with that CQC, close quarter combat annihilator. 4 kills to his name. The team has 13. Wow. Both of these guys did great here, but ultimately it's... Oh, there's Juancho dealing out some monster damage with that UMP, going after another and taking almost no damage in the process. This boy is on a little bit of a warpath here for his team, and Execute could sure use it at this point because they've already been reduced down to half of their starting lineup. Look at him go, another one. Tunes boy, and boy, he wrecked house into him, barely surviving it with enough health on his own, but still up and about. And Looney Tunes are still taken out by Switch. Wow! That was a numbered situation, but multiple teams ganging up on him. That's a rough one. But now it's down to 2 teams, guys. We got ourselves a 1v1. Rizzly Grizzlies versus Forsaken Gaming. Rizzler versus JP47. To take late rotation might be more advantageous to the participants. And Clout knows it too. That's why he's holding back here. And, you know, you don't often... hopefully we're not going to see the heal strat too much more after this new update. Clout, was that him? I don't think it is, as they picked him apart. And this is going to be an interesting thing to note here as we scroll up. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our third and our final round of the day of the Maniac's weekly $60 cash scrims, and we're going to be concluding the day with the very first map ever introduced to this game. I am, of course, speaking about Erangel. Now, what do we need to say about a map like Erangel? It's basically the off-bred love child to Sandhawk and Miramar, because it really is the perfect middle ground between those two extremes, which is going to leave it fairly reliant upon the flight path to determine just what sort of early game we actually end up getting. With that being said, we are working with a almost perfectly central flight path. Our participants are getting super lucky with that one. It means that they are going to be left with a bunch of options in terms of where to choose from and dropping locations. That means, particularly, I guess the takeaway from that would mean that the odds of a early game confrontation just get a bit slimmer because of that, because they have just so many options. But as with, you know, these large maps, if it does so happen to equate to that, as I said earlier, a more passive early game always directly translates to a more action-packed and climactic mid or in-game. So it's going to be worth the trade if you ask me. Now we are going to go ahead and get a little bit closer in here. Got a lot of early jumpers. As you can note, we can see members of Execute jumping alongside their opponents in Looney Tunes. And, oops, pardon me, I just did that on the wrong screen. But, oh, it looks like members of Weird Guys could also be showing up there, and they're not alone. They got Divine with them as well. So, we're just going to briefly go over... Yep, Weird Guys already doing stuff in the distance. Let's catch... Weird Genius, pardon me. Already doing stuff in the Genius. Let's... doing stuff in the distance, what I'm saying. Let's catch eyes here. I will get this music off in just a moment. Oh boy, Tactical is way off from the boys. A little too far off from the team, and a bit of a 3-1 split, which might be a little beneficial for them in general, just in case the rest of Weird Genius is taken out of the equation. Boy, this is interesting. Really right on top of each other. Come on. Whatever. I'm just going to switch over to J-Crew then. Yep. J-Crew is in altercation as we speak, up against the likes of After Freedom. We see Nifty coming in with a Mini 14 Uzi combo, and that is not ideal for this, kind of altercation. But the Uzi, as we have all seen, can be a CQC, pretty intimidating CQC weapon here, but Nifty feeling comfortable with the Mini, and he does secure it. Luckily, he had a little bit of help from his teammate there, but nicely done either way. All right, so where to tune into? Got a lot of stuff here on the board. We're going to go over to the boys and girls in Lotus. Why? Because it looks like Melody is in an altercation as we speak. Potentially, it's either going to be with members of Insane Maniacs or Eternal. Because we got ourselves a love triangle forming here, ladies and gentlemen. Astro of Eternal just swimming in a pool of Insane Maniacs. Whether or not he'll be able to get out of that is going to be a tough one to find out. Especially considering that his Phoenix, is downed right there and then. Yep, and Clout is also out of the equation. This is not looking good for Eternal, and just like that, it's going to be Astro trying to stick a revive, seeing if he can bring Phoenix back from the ashes. And wow, with no one pushing it. That's interesting. Your boy putting a little bit of cover down for his teammates, throwing out some warning utilities, but a Molly being thrown back in retaliation is going to take him out of the equation. Hellfire raining down on him, and that's going to leave everything back in the hands of Phoenix and Astro. Phoenix cooking up a smoke to try to get over to his fallen teammate as well, maybe return the favor that a teammate did for him. All the while, Lotus just keeping the pressure off in the distance. Atomic cooking up a utility as we speak. And Melody does get the takedown on your boy. Exodus going after Control in the distance. I think we're going to go tune into that just briefly here. So at this point, Control has been reduced down to Bum, Leviathan, and Brick. Now, Control has not particularly had the most ideal day so far in terms of their matches. So realistically, I think the main goal for them for this match should just be kind of putting some numbers on the board and sending that message out to everyone else saying, hey, we might not have done as well as we would have hoped in rounds 1 and 2, but we'll be back next week, and let me show you why we are a threat. But guys, if you haven't yet subbed to my YouTube, it would absolutely mean the world to me if you could. I'm desperately trying to hit 1,000 followers before May. Insane Maniacs going after Lotus Blinky. I'm curious. What does... Well, Looney Tunes and Exodus having at it. That's what we're going to go and check in on here. Yep. Boy, they are right up next to each other here in North George. Fate taking a lot of damage, being reduced down to 1/5 of his overall health here. He does have that UMP-45 in his possession. Whether or not he'll be able to get this heal off is yet to be seen. Jason awfully low as well, but does finish the job there. Nicely done. Juancho pushing up aggressively. And look at that. Execute just picking off their opponents in Looney Tunes one by one there, using their numbers in their favor. I love it. Well, yeah, obviously, the topic of conversation should be, are we tuning in to this little love triangle here? Oops. This little love triangle here, as we've got members of Eternal, Insane Maniacs, and Lotus still in this little confrontation in Pachinki. But another thing to note is also that, goodness gracious. Wow. So another thing to note, however, is that we also have the looming threat of Fruit Cups up against members of Control at the Yasnaya area. So I just gotta go over just once more. Bum has been down, leaving it riding on Brick and Leviathan. Yo, Lofi, how are you, buddy? Thanks for the follow. Yeah, Plofi, it'd be awesome if I could get you to sub to my YouTube channel as well. That's kind of where people are watching on right now at the moment. But, so where is our next bit of blood going to come from, ladies and gentlemen? Where should we be expecting to see some action? Yeah, we're going to go up north again. Check on the Risley Grizzlies and their altercation here with Excuse. Red Eyes, how can we register for this? You got to do it in the Maniac Discord server. I will pull up that link here for you right now. I don't believe they sent it to me, but I will get one here for you anyway. Invite people. Copy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to paste the link here on the YouTube and on the Twitch. So, I guess we'll give a little bit of attention Excuse's way. Matt cooking up a nade here. This could hit. Oh, it does significant damage there to Bear, but surprisingly less than I was expecting. I was expecting it to hit as a knock. It did only 1/3 of his health. Boy, that definitely looked like it was closer than it was. Well, with Rosh down, it's going to leave things riding on Matt and, pardon me. Matt and, oh, Rosh is back up, pardon me. With James down, it's going to leave it riding on Rosh, Excuse, SS, and Matt. Boy, it's definitely a battle of patience right now. Matt awaiting the inevitable push here from his opponents in Risley, and it is taking some time. I feel like we should switch away, but it's got to be any moment now. Oh, here comes the shots. Molly's being thrown in. He was holding off in that altercation to the last possible moment. And look at him go with that FAMAS, no less. He gets a takedown, but Revenge served cold and fast, and he is downed as well, leaving it riding on SS and Rosh. And Rosh is realistically the only immediate help here. Pulling up 4X on a Scar-L, and he is taken down in the cafe, leaving it all riding on SS here. Can he get to his teammates in time? He's close. But it's almost like Risley Grizzlies are baiting. Hi, Hockey. Alright, that was SS's chance to get the surprise angle on Rizzler. Either way, even though he didn't get that surprise knock on him, he was able to secure it afterwards, but he is taking some zone damage, and I know it's still fairly early, you know, all things considered, but ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, no one has a higher KD than that blue zone. So, keep it in mind. You don't want to underestimate it as this match progresses, how much deadlier that will get. We're going to switch over to, oh, I guess it's not JQ. Mena4 having at it in the distance. We'll go give them a little bit of screen time. Currently, they are sitting with 0 kills and a little bit spread out, facing off against the likes of Nemesis. And this could be a real opportunity for Z to get a surprise angle on Corrido and Code. Looks like Wagoon might even be going for a thirst here on his opponent, or his fallen opponent, Nemesis, Ruby. Yo, PUBG Mobile is Call of Duty Mobile's daddy. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm sorry it took me that long to notice. All right. Exodus potentially going to work their way a little closer to the mix. But this is not an ideal situation for Mena4. A 2-1 split is not necessarily what I have against this. It's that they're sandwiched almost in between Nemesis and Exodus. And to be spread out while you're sandwiched, that might be a bit much. I'm going to go tune into J Crew momentarily because they just lost a member recently here. It looks like, yep, it's going to leave everything riding on Xylo and Xylo alone. And his most immediate threat would be just to his south. He's got members of Rude Dudes. Looks like they're going to be bridge camping a little bit. And they're still a full 4-person squad, so definitely to be taken quite seriously. That's a formidable opponent. Oh, nice. Execute's still doing work in the distance, and they've got 4 kills already on the board and have lost 0 people off their team. As they face off against All In, we see Jason firing 3x M4 just spraying into Chew. Bless you. Oh, there's Juancho with a monster nade right then and there on Beery. This is going to be the chance that Execute wants. So this is going to leave it riding on V and Chew. V much... Pardon me. I was going to say much closer, but... Bree is also here. Beery, a little bit knocked. V just trying to get to his teammate here, be of some help. And that nice little angle could have been a good surprise, but it looks like, in my opinion, he drove a little too close to the opposition. Well, that's going to leave Chew as the last remaining hope here for All In, just firing away with that UMP, but outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. All In is all out. I'm getting real good at these dad jokes. Okay, we're going to switch our attention briefly to what remains of J Crew, which is Xylo, just because he's still relatively close to a member of the Rude Dudes. Doesn't look like it's going to amount to much yet. Hey, Frenchie. Oh, thank you, Menace. Great casting as always. I really do appreciate that, man. Especially since I'm... Oh, that's Gil getting a takedown on one of the Fruit Cups. And also, we got Eternal here in the mix. Boy, this is a tough one for Gil. Fruit Cup basically lined themselves up on a platter for Gil of the Rude Dudes. I mean, they outnumbered him and just decided to go try to pull a boat rotation. And that was risky to begin with, because even getting away on that boat that close to your opposition is very unlikely. But this is going to be a lot of utilities being thrown out the Fruit Cup's way. Will it connect? Boy, they're having a tough go of it. And Jelson almost swimming a little too fast. He's going to get in the vehicle and maybe even heal up. Well, that's Quick Nick being eliminated. This is going to be a tough one here. And just like that, Julie is out of the equation, and Singh and the boys finish the job there. All the while, Execute facing off against what remains of J Crew, which, as we noted, is Xylo. And Xylo is out of the equation as well now. So, where should we be tuning into? I think we'll keep our attention here. Oops. Boy, talk about having the Rude Dudes up against a corner. It's all riding on Singh and Manny at this point. Singh trying to cook up a little bit of a smoke cover for his teammates. Going to prioritize healing. Oh, Manny is down. Singh is now the last hope here for the Rude Dudes, and it's time to get real polite, because you need to survive and get some placement points. Going for a sneaky water snake tactic, but you know, I think him healing right here is maybe his undoing. He might have been able to get away if he had just stuck to the escape, getting in the water and then swimming out. Who knows? Maybe he still gets away. I will go to your YouTube and sub. Thank you so much, Frenchie. I really appreciate you, bro. And guys, in case you aren't aware, this is going to be a weekly recurring event by the Maniacs. So it'll be Sundays at 9 o'clock EST moving forward, it looks like. Thank you so much, Clown. Appreciate you, bud. And once again, guys, here is the invite link for their server. Yo! Thank you so much, French. We just hit 800 subscribers on YouTube. I'm super thankful. Ooh, looky here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a good situation for Control. Bum and Brick are too far apart, and Casper knows exactly where Brick is. His moments are numbered like a fish in a barrel. That's a sick M4 skin. Yeah, Brick, he's done for. I'd be shocked if he made it out of this. Men of 4 going after Lotus in the distance. I think I'm going to get an eye on that just for a brief moment. Yeah. At this point, Men of 4 is down to Z and Z alone with no health. Can he secure a revive on his fallen teammate Love? He has no time to heal himself up either. It's a tough call here. And guys, we are just down to about 29 people here spread out across 10 teams. Not a lot of time left on the board, and the zone has spoken. It's going to be an Eastern-oriented Novo/Millie zone. Oh boy, Execute did get the bridge advantage here, and it looks like they were able to take out the final member of Control there. Now, interestingly enough, they're not out of the thicket just yet, but for now, we're going to go tune our attention over to Sup Cuties, potentially in an altercation with what remains of Men of 4 off in the distance. But Sup Cuties is pretty spread out as well. Oh, NGM, Noof going off in the distance. Exodus putting some work in retaliation. Oh boy, it's all down to Unruly and Medic here. Unruly going off with that Honey Badger though. A lot of people have been hating on that Honey Badger, but I've also heard a lot of good hype, even in terms of distance shots, so. Oh, look at... Oh, he squad wiped! Unruly just squad wiped! Not bad, brother. Very nicely done. Well, guys, just like that, we're down to 23 people here, and no one except for the Weird Geniuses are in zone. And you know what? Let's give credit to the Weird Geniuses here, because not only are they claiming an early position in the zone, but if you'll take notice, they are also getting the high ground here. That is going to be huge, huge, huge in terms of gatekeeping the likes of Forsaken Gaming, Men of 4, what remains of Sup Cuties. They could even potentially get a gatekeep on Execute or members of Exodus here. It's nothing but options here for them. All right. Well, Unruly taking a lot of damage from Exodus. He does get a knock on Juancho, but a lot of warning damage being retaliated on him. Casper going to try to cloak his fallen teammate in a cloud of smoke and maybe see if he can get a revive. But honestly, this is Unruly's chance to get one of these nades off. All right, guys, we just hit 801 subscribers on YouTube. Please, 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 if you haven't yet, please do sub to my YouTube. It would mean the world to me. I'm really trying to grow on all these platforms, kind of give myself as many lucrative opportunities as possible. Look at this, man. Execute was able to bow out, and this is going to boil down to a bit of hesitation on Exodus's end. And I'm not sure if it was a mistake, to be honest. Maybe it was because that they knew, you know, they're going up against Execute, and that is a team that has a lot of experience and synergy in the tier 1 community. So maybe, you know, they're just not underestimating their opponent. But they also have a great opportunity to gatekeep Execute here, and that is entirely on the fault of Execute. They drove themselves out of the zone, but I am curious to see how this works as they work their way in. Look at this. 15 kills on the board. These boys are feeling confident and aggressive. Even as a 3-piece that's responsible for 2/3 of the kills. Oh, it's Love from Men of 4 going off in the distance. I want to catch eyes briefly. He's responsible for 2 of the team's 6 kills. He worked on Exodus getting a knock on Unruly, but then taken down from the side and a third party from Execute. He started focusing a little too much on the likes of Exodus, and it might have just been his undoing right then. Z gonna try to get to his fallen teammate, but boy, taking a huge load of damage in the process. He'll be lucky if he makes it there. And it is all for naught as Jason wrecks into him from the distance. Boy, Exodus. Guys, we're down to 5 teams here, spread across 18 people. Exodus with 6 kills just between Medic and Unruly. It's time for Bird to kick in something for the group. Maybe even at least take the attention off of the 2 heavy hitters here, so they have an opportunity to catch a separate angle. Know your strengths and know how you work the best with your teammates. If you're not the most skilled in the CQC situations, what can you do to give them the best chance of completion? Jason taking a lot of damage here as he tries to escape the clutches of Exodus, taken down to below half health and taking considerable amount of vehicle damage in the process. But he's not even the closest one in danger to Exodus. This is going to be a little confusing. Exodus and Execute, I understand. Guys, we got 5 teams remaining spread across 18 people. If you are just now tuning in, this is the 3rd and final round of the day for the Maniacs weekly $60 cash scrims every Sunday, 9 o'clock p.m. EST. All right, Juancho at the forefront, holding off Exodus, but without the high ground in his favor. I'm not so sure how I feel about it. I wonder if I can just... Boy, this is an interesting spread here. Exodus and Weird Genius both have certain advantages here, but Exodus really should utilize this high ground advantage here over Execute, you would think, but they're not giving up that advantage here. Even by this hold off and altercation, they're just securing the high ground, making sure that they still have it, and so they're trying to claim the highest position possible, not losing their advantage over their opposition. But this, however, might be their undoing, as Unruly turns around, literally turning his back on Execute to focus on Weird Genius. That is a huge opportunity for the opposition to just come in and pick them off. I'm going to switch over to Forsaken Gaming just momentarily, because it looks like they are also still a full 4-piece. However, 0 kills on the board so far. But we noticed in round 1 the way Forsaken Gaming can pull that long haul move here and then get their kills at the very last moment and secure that win. All right, nades being thrown out by Tactical. Will it connect? Oh, doing significant damage to Mortal, taking them down to just above half health, but it's not enough to finish the job. But them being so close together in this shack could be a bit of tempting fate as well, just because one nade would absolutely knock Mortal, and if Pain goes in there too, it's both of them down. Yang is down as well, so Pain needs to hold off and try to stick this revive. Weird Genius really utilizing smoke cover pretty well here too. Oh, and Mortal's down, just like that. Boy, oh boy. What an opportunity for other teams here. For example, Rude Dudes could come in right now and just annihilate House. Alright, sorry about that, guys. JP47 and Pain remain. Now it's just JP47. Oh boy. All odds stacked against him, and he's picked from the side by a member of the Risley Grizzlies. So guys, we got 3 teams remaining. It's going to be Execute, the Risley Grizzlies, and Exodus facing off here in a 3v4v2, 4v3v2 to end our 3rd and final round. Boy, this is a tough go. And that is that! Goodness gracious! What a quick finish there. But ladies and gentlemen, any way you look at it, that is game over. The Risley Grizzlies really putting up a great performance today in terms of aggression and kills and placement. They're able to secure first place with Dun, 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 dun. 9 kills on the board, almost perfectly evenly distributed. Everybody eats. Well, Exodus, another decent one here, as they get second place with 7 kills, 6 of them between Unruly and Medic. Execute grabbing bronze, third place, but doing so with 16 kills. 11 of those 16 are between Fate and Jason. The Weird Geniuses in fourth with 7. We got Forsaken Gaming grabbing 5th, but with only 1 kill, and that's from Pain. Mina 4 grabbing 6th, and that's going to be with 6. SC, the Sup Cutie Crew, they're grabbing 7th with 3 kills between in a 1v4 and 999. Moving a little bit down here, we can see that the Rude Dudes grabbing 8th place with 5 kills. We've got, I'm going to say, either Insane Maniacs or New Genesis Maniacs, whichever one. 9th place with 1 kill. We got Control, a little bit of improvement here. They worked their way up to the 10th spot this time, but with only 1 kill, and that's from Brick. Lotus Esports grabbing 11th this time around with 5 kills between Melody and Atomic. We got J Crew grabbing 12th, and that's going to be with 4 kills, 3 of which are from Sky. The Fruit Cup Elites in 13th, but with a big fat onion for kills, unfortunately for them. Nemesis in 14th this time around, and that's going to be with 1 kill from One Eye Code. All in 15th, but with 0 kills as well. And speaking of 0 kills, we got Excuse in 16th with that big old onion as well. Eternal securing 17th with 3 kills between Astro and Phoenix. And then I guess this would be the Insane Maniacs here in 18th with 2. Got Looney Tunes grabbing 19th with 0. Divine in 20th with 0. And lastly, we've got, pardon me, After Freedom in 21st and last place with 1 kill from Lexus. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude today's rounds of the Maniacs $60 cash scrims. But keep in mind, we're going to be running this every single weekend. So be sure to come in and sign up in the Maniacs Discord server. The link is being posted in the chat as we speak. And this is going to be run every week. So be sure to register and get claim your spot early. And I'll see you guys next Sunday as well. With that being said, I'm going to go switch it over to highlights, and I'm going to be going live immediately after the stream ends for some personal gameplay. If you guys like watching a potato do potato things, come on over. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a great night. Have fun, be safe, and be kind to one another. GG's. Boy, and boy, he wrecked house into him, barely surviving it with enough health on his own, but still up and about. And Looney Tunes are still taken out by Switch. Wow! That was a numbered situation, but multiple teams ganging up on him. That's a rough one. But now it's down to 2 teams, guys. We got ourselves a 1v1. Rizzly Grizzlies versus Forsaken Gaming. Rizzler versus JP47. Late rotation might be more advantageous to the participants, and Clout knows it too. That's why he's holding back here. And you know, you don't often, hopefully we're not going to see the heal strat too much more after this new update. Clout, was that him? I don't think, as they picked him apart. And this is going to be an interesting thing to note here as we scroll up. We can see just outside of the Camp Alpha area, we got a member of the Rude Dudes who strayed from the path. That's Gambler, and he is suffering the consequences immediately. I'm guessing that maybe his teammates do not have very good loot in this situation, just given the circumstances. Execute having a bit of a rough go of it in the distance, so I'm going to go tune into that just briefly here. Oh, it's Fate being taken down right before our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That is a really members, and that is not an ideal situation to be in at this stage at all. Especially considering that he was only able to secure 1 kill for the team. He does get a knock, but boy, Rizzler just annihilating him from behind. And at that stage, he was just outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned. This is what I'll call it here. And oh, Ace dropping down, but not quite able to finish the job with that Tommy gun, leaving Lexus as the final hope here for After Freedom. And boy, it is looking rough, but that close quarter combat annihilated the DBS, doing what it does. However, revenge is something served cold and fast, well, which could leave a very serious opportunity here for the likes of Control. Who is their final member up? Wow, I don't even know how I moved to the side right there. Oh, it's Bum. Oh boy, he is just annihilating laying waste with that 4x M4, but oh, Revenge dished out. You figure out, does he go for the revive or try to fall back a little bit? And he's going to try to do, oh boy, I think he just mollied his teammate. Oh, Bishop is also down at the hands of Excuse right there and then. Firing away with that M4 in hand. Is it going to be enough? It does.